Hey, what's going on? Mike Marin here, and welcome back. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're actually going to do a breakdown of the live recorded $3,000 per month close. So just a real quick recap. We are right now here in the process. So in the previous training videos, we actually covered the cold outreach process. I showed you the cold email. I walked you through the education-based marketing video. In the last video, I walked you through the live call, which I then set up another call. And in here, we're going to go through the live $3,000 per month closing call. So again, this was all part of this bigger process, which is the 7 steps from cold to sold, which, we selected our niche. Selected NeoGraft. I gave the reasons for that in the very first video. Let me pop this here. We gathered and enriched good cold email data. I showed you how I did that with outsourcing that for $110. We did some cold email copywriting. We had the appointments, and we're right in here, right before collecting the money in the bank. So with that said, I'm going to pull this over here. It's a 27-minute call, and we'll break it down. So again, same sort of thing. We'll jump into it.
So yeah, we had a chance, looked over the demographics of city, and things look good. So I mean, based off of I'm willing to guarantee our services. We started building out the campaigns last night. So let me kind of lay out on this call how everything works and what we can do for you. So you said the goal is 4 NeoGraft extra per location. That's kind of the goal currently. Tell me a little bit more about that so I can completely understand.
Well, I mean, if we were able to get 4, so let's just say we close.
So cool. So yeah, just started out being like, my thing is, some of it I edited out just because, well, actually it wasn't edited out. I asked for permission to record the phone call again. To which he said yes, and that's when I started the recording. So with regards to that, basically, like, I kind of want to make this feel like almost like it's a done deal. Like I'm assuming the sale during this entire campaign. So I'm like, we started working on the campaign last night, which really meant like, we were researching it. And, sometimes I'll be like, I'm really excited. Had a look at your area. Everything looks really good. I feel really confident in the guarantee. Which they still don't even know what I'm willing to guarantee. But I'm like, I'll just say, hey, I'm really confident in the guarantee. And then what I want to do is I kind of want to because people forget. So what I like to do is go back into the need find. So, and I do it under the frame of like, let's build out a plan on this phone call. So the whole thing is like, hey, just so, I make sure that the plan's correct that we're going to implement, right? Like assuming we're going to implement it. You said you wanted to bring in an additional 4 NeoGraft patients. Tell me a little bit more about that so I can completely understand and make sure that we're doing this right. So that's kind of like the frame that I'm giving off as we start off. And again, like I'm loosely script. Like I actually have a sheet of paper that I have on my desk every time I do these calls, but I've done it so many times, and I know the general framework and philosophy behind what I'm trying to do that I kind of wing it every time. So that's why every call will sound a little different.
We closed at 50%, 1 out of every 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then in order to get 4 sales, we'd have to have 8 qualified leads per location.
Yep.
So it's at least 16, bare minimum.
Got it. 16
Because
bare minimum.
Right. My OV, when we call our office visit, that's when we don't make a sale.
Mm-hmm.
On the other products and services that we have, understanding that this is a larger average sale. Our sales percentages, we close 60%. So I figure it being a larger sale, and we have financing available as well. So, that makes it less of a larger sale. And so I would say probably we cut that down. So let's just say we only close 4 out of every 10. Okay? So
Yep.
we have to have 20 gross leads in order to put 8 on the board.
Got it.
And
we'll be 10 per location. What would be the impact of that on your business or extra?
Well, obviously, I mean, we talk about
So, I mean, what I'm doing there is like he's doing the math for me, which is perfect. Like that, you know, I want to build a plan. I want to build out the math of like, hey, you know, if we were sending this many leads, how many of them would you close? So like, you know, he started to build like, you know, based off my questioning, which we did the last call, we started to work out the numbers, which is perfect, exactly what I want to do. And then I asked like, you know, so what would be the impact of that on your business? Which is really just kind of going like a layer deeper. Like what's the impact of that? You know, I'm just curious, what's the impact of that?
sale of around $9,000, so that'd be what, $36,000 a clinic, gross profit, and probably a net profit of maybe, I don't know, probably going to net maybe 35%. So there you have it. That'd be what, 10,000 net per month. I mean, depending on how much it costs to generate the lead. I mean, I don't know how much it costs to generate the lead, but so I don't know, maybe $50,000 a month in net revenue, probably.
Got it. I mean, here was kind of the plan that I was thinking based off of your numbers. So the kind of the rule of thumb is, you know, we generate you 40 inquiries, you know, decent sales process. You guys are on top of the lead. That should be minimum 50% booking into appointments and consultations. You know, up to 70%. So of the 40 inquiries that come in, as long as, you know, you guys are calling them quickly because they are, you know, filling in their details for a consultation and for the offer, which is up to $1,500 off NeoGraft. Obviously, that's kind of the, you know, the mechanism we get them to raise their hand. Out of those, you know, so 40 inquiries, we'd expect to see 20 in, and then obviously if we get 20 in, you know, you factor in about, let's say, you know, 80% show rate. Some don't show, but out of those that come in, if you're closing half of those, we're looking at about with 80% show rate on 20. That's about 18, or is it 16? Hold on.
So we should be able to get to the 8 with those numbers.
So I'm thinking those are the numbers there that's going to hit that for you.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
40, and let's just 40, you know, down to 20.
And this is perfect, really, because this is just plan building, and you know, does that sound fair? Does that sound reasonable? Like those are all things that I'll ask, and he's like, yep, that sounds fair. Like, you know, once you get to him to agree on the plan, it's pretty much a done deal. So we'll keep going.
And then 20, you know, you're looking at, let's say, you know, 90, you know, it's about 18 that show. Half of those close in the practice. You know, let's say we get 18 to come in. How many do you think you're going to close?
18. We're going to close at least 8.
At least 8. Okay, perfect. I mean, I think that's the numbers that do it there. So if that's something that I could do for you every month, guarantee those 40 inquiries, is that something that you'd want to do?
Yeah.
So that's really important right there. You know, I knew I was selling 40 leads coming in because I worked it out to be 3,000 divided by 40. I wanted to test this market at the $75 per lead because I was confident that I could generate them based off of the, you know, the Facebook ad system to get in the door, and then obviously build out, you know, other different channels to generate them leads. But the important thing about that question was, hey, if that's something that I could do for you every single month, is that something you'd want to do? Right? I'm getting a buy-in. I'm getting a trial close. And these little trial closes throughout are very, very important. So, you know, the closing process has begun.
Well, obviously,
okay, perfect.
How much it is an inquiry, but yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my kind of only concern, and I don't think I really have this concern with you, just because I've been doing this for quite a while, is I just want to kind of stress the importance of this. I'm pretty sure you have this handled, but as far as generating the leads, we have some practices, and this won't work if you guys don't follow up quickly with these leads. These are leads from advertising. You know, they're not people actively searching for you. they're not, referrals or people internally in the practice. So if you're not on top of these inquiries, again, we shoot to get 80 to 90% of them to come in during business hours to inquire.
Be on the phone with
services.
them within an hour. Within an hour of me receiving the leads, we'll be on the phone with them.
Okay. Is there that's a little long. It's
So what I'm doing here is like anytime that I'm like I feel like I'm being in any script that I write that I do, like anytime that you're being a bit too salesy, which sometimes those salesy questions are necessary and work. Like, hey, if that's something I can do for you, is that something that you want to do? It's kind of a rhetorical question. So I like to then back off always, like with a takeaway, right? And the same thing, if I make a really big claim, I'm the best agency in the world, that's such a high claim. I'll always back it up with and the reason for that is we're the only agency that offers a guarantee, right? So it's always joining like a proof element with a claim. So that's the way that I think of it. So I'm like, okay, I just made this big, trial close, and then what I want to do is I want to back off, right? And the back off is like, I have a concern, right? And that's kind of like the takeaway. And now I'm like, I want him to qualify to me. I want to make sure that he could close the leads in time. He says he could close in an hour, which actually, for those of you guys, internet leads, it really should be like instant, like first 30 seconds, first minute. So like he thinks he's being quick, getting to them in an hour. Really, like we got to be on them, as soon as possible. There's a study that MIT did, which actually shows like, the longer it takes, like even within, the first minute, like the close percentage goes down like significantly, 5 minutes goes down even more. So I'm going to now use this as an opportunity to kind of educate him on that.
5 to 10 minutes
hour?
is kind of the sweet spot. Yeah, for these.
Really?
I mean, you're like, if you've seen any of the studies, it's like if you get on the first minute, it's like a 400% increase in conversion. First 5 minutes is 300%, and then it dramatically goes down. So the call cadence that I recommend is once you get the note.
If I need to get on it quicker, I'll get on it quicker. I just got to figure out a way to deliver it that quick, that I can get on it that quick.
So the way that we do that is we give you the leads in real time with an email notification to everyone handling the leads, and then text message notifications.
Okay, that's good enough.
That way that you guys can do that. Now, if that is an issue for your staff, we do have another solution, which is basically every time someone fills in a lead, it'll actually call the office and then force them, it'll call the office, they'll pick up. They press number 2 on their phone, and it will call the lead out immediately. And then it will merge the 2 calls. So it forces them to get on them within 40 seconds. And that really does help. We don't really put that in right away. We only do that if there's an issue, but really what we recommend, first 5 to 10 minutes call. If they don't pick up, we do a double dial, so we call again, and then we call them within 20 minutes after they've submitted. If they don't pick up again, then we call them 2 to 3 hours later the same day. Those are best practices for any online leads, just because that's when they're hot. That's when they saw the ad, that's when they inquired, and then obviously we follow up every single day until we get a hold of them for the connection rate and booking them in for an appointment, up to 14 days. Then after that, we recommend kind of just stick them in your email system and nurture them, and we nurture them, which I'll tell you about in a second, through our ads online, our retargeting ads. So, I mean, the thing I want to stress is like, you're not going to it's not going to work if they're on it slow. If they're waiting a day to book them in, we're not going to see the amount of appointments booked that we need to make this work. And I don't think you'll get it to work with anyone doing this kind of form of advertising. However, if they're on top of it, if they're following calling them right away, then you're going to make a whole bunch of money.
Okay.
So again, this is just, now like a lot of people like oversell. Like I'm trying really to put reality into the situation. And a lot of people think that this ruins the sale. In fact, it actually increases your close rate because they're so used to hype. They're so used to BS. Like if you notice, like I'm very laid back and you just want to be smooth with this, and you want to add in that reality. Like, here's what it takes to succeed. Like, if you're not willing to do this, like, it's not going to work. But if you are, then it is going to work. That's essentially what I'm saying here. And, now we're getting takeaway, we're getting buy-in. And then also, like, the biggest thing when it comes to like any lead gen business is like, you don't want the clients to think that it's some magic lead source. Like, the reality is in selling leads to any business, the leads are like 20% and the sales process is like 80-90%. Because if they don't call the leads, if they have a bad salesperson, if they have, it's really reliant on them, which you'll find when you start to get a lot of clients. Like, and a lot of clients will say they're good at closing and they can close referrals, which doesn't involve like any sales skills because the sales already been done, or like someone typing into their website, like, that's pretty much done. When it comes to like leads from advertising, it's like really dependent on the sales process. So I want them to know that. Like, I don't want them to think this is a referral. I don't want them to think this is like, a lead from their website. Like, this is leads from advertising. You got to call them, and this is what it takes for it to work. Because if they come in thinking that this is some magic lead source, they're going to realize, number one, it isn't. And they're going to be like, wow, I got conned, right? And you're going to have a really unhappy client, and that's not what you want. And they're not going to get the result. Like, the more that you could tell them the truth, the more that they're going to allocate the proper resources, the proper mindset to it. And then not only are they going to get the result, but you're going to get the result, and you're going to keep them as a client month after month. So that's very, very important. Just wanted to hammer on that.
Okay.
I can make it work.
Okay, perfect. So, I mean, if you like based on everything you told me, I think it's a perfect fit. I mean, back to your sales guys, like I said, that's key. So,
very simple cadence to this call. Call them up. Went back to the need find, build out the plan, get agreement on the plan. Like, you don't move to the next step until you get agreement. Concern takeaway, and now we're based on what you told me, I think this is a perfect fit, and now we're going to go right into the offer.
Let me tell you about the service really quickly. Service in a nutshell, essentially, do they own what we're doing? My own ads I've created. We place some multi-channel marketing, place some Facebook, Instagram, Google Display Network, and Twitter. We usually start with Facebook and Instagram. Those are kind of the workhorses. That's where the majority of the volume is. So we place my own ads.
So if you see, like, I don't want to just say, hey, I'm selling Facebook ads or Instagram, multi-channel, and I want it to be different. If you notice in the last call, he was like saying how Facebook ads don't work. So, I probably could have got away with even, making it sound even more like different of what we do. But here I am going in and just really simply presenting the service
that I've developed over the last 8 years. I think I'm one of the best people in this entire space of doing it. I know which may sound like hype, but the proof is I'm the only one offering a guarantee. The way it works is we run them. The offer we run for NeoGraft is a free consultation plus an up to $1,500 off gift certificate. They respond to that. They fill in their name, their email, and their phone number into a form. On that form, it says fill in your information or to book your free consultation to get your gift certificate, and a member from your team will call them to activate it. The minute they fill in their details in real time, we send you an email, so the leads get sent right to your inbox that says, hey, you have a new NeoGraft lead. And then we say, hey, the body of the email says, hey, you have a new NeoGraft inquiry. This person just filled in their details. Here's their name, here's their email, here's their phone number. That happens in real time. You'll also get text message notifications to anyone handling it, same kind of thing. You get a text, this is them, tap it on your phone, call. In addition, you also get that Google Sheets, which we share, and that is the lead tracking sheet. So every time we generated a lead for you, an inquiry, it auto-populates into that tracking sheet. So you have every new patient opportunity goes in there, and that way you could see, I'm all about trackability. You could see down to the dollars and cents exactly how much this is working for you. So you can say, hey, we've generated 20 leads. What happened to this lead? That way we're trackable and transparent through the entire process. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That is basically how we generate the lead. We run those ads on Facebook, Instagram. We use video ads. We show them, the NeoGraft. We use NeoGraft testimonials. That shows up in their news feed. Again, they fill out, sent to you in real time. Now, when it comes to what happens is once the lead submits, they go to a page that we build for you called a microsite. It's a one-page site. And on that, we actually have a phone number which we will direct to you. We call it the NeoGraft Specialist line, and we push them to call up the office. So about 10 to 20% of the new patient opportunities are going to call into that line. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So not only are you going to get people inquiring, but you're going to get your phone ringing. And about 10 to 20% will call in, and all of those should practically be booked when they call in to book an appointment, as long as you guys are able to answer that. And that is pretty much it. Month one, obviously we set everything up and get rolling. When we roll into month two, what happens is we add the retargeting ad. So let's say month one, we generate 50 inquiries, 60 inquiries. Let's say you book 60 inquiries, you book half of them. There's still 30 that haven't booked in. We're able to follow up with them with retargeting ads on Facebook and Instagram. So anytime they log on, we show them ads that say, hey, call in, book your appointment. Here's some more testimonials of NeoGraft. And that's pretty much the program in a nutshell. Do you have any questions?
No.
So really simply, I'm just kind of explaining how it works. Like I want them to understand how it works. If you notice, I called it out earlier, but I said, I think I'm the best in the world at doing this. Proof is the only one that offers a guarantee. Like if you're the only one that offers a guarantee, you could say a line like that. You don't need to say that you've been doing this for 8 years. So with that said, like you could see almost there's no proof elements, no testimonials throughout here, just relying on the proof elements of the guarantee, the being specific, and then educating on the process, right? So like that's the whole pitch. Like we're 12 minutes in, we've now pitched the entire program, still haven't done the price, and then I just do a check-in. Hey, any questions on how the service is delivered? Like, does that all make sense? And then.
Okay.
How you generate them to me really doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to their house with a gun and tell them to call us right now and they come into our office and buy, I could care less. If that's the way it goes, that's the way it goes. I just need to know. I got to fit the cost into my business model and make sure it works.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it does matter how we generate them, because if we're saying, hey, win a free trip to Vegas, that's going to be a different quality lead than if we're calling out the problem that they have thinning hair and saying, hey, here's a solution. Check out this video and opt in. So we try to get a better, we do everything we can to get you a better quality lead and have them better framed when they call in, when you guys call them, right? I don't want to stick a gun to their head and say call in, but I get what you're saying. So, I mean, that's what we do. Again, the offer that we run, up to $1,500 off free consultation, and then you do your thing. You book a new patient.
Okay.
The way that it works, the package that I would recommend for you, and I recommend that we start off small. Again, the way that it works is we do minimum lead guarantees. We obviously shoot to get more. So the package that I would recommend is our 50 to 60. That's what I'm aiming to get. Obviously, if we get you more with the ad spend, we just keep it running, but we guarantee a minimum of 40 inquiries with that package. So the way that we charge, everything's included, completely turnkey. The budget that goes into Facebook, Instagram, all the different platforms, our management fee for managing the ads, setting everything up for you, installing our system basically into your business. Plus, on top of that, you have access to me as far as handling the leads, any questions you have, best procedures, you guys have access to me. All of that's included, and the way we charge is very simple. We charge $3,000 a month, and again, that's with the aim to bring you in those additional 8 patients. So $35,000 in revenue, $10,000 net, if those are your numbers. I don't know your margins, but that's what you're saying. So that's essentially how we do things. The way the guarantee works, the performance guarantee, if at any time we don't get you that minimum lead total of 40, then we don't bill you until we can get that. And if we still can't get those 40 minimum leads after 60 days, then we actually refund you in full. So we take the risk that you're actually going to get real inquiries. Does that make sense? But obviously we're shooting to get you 50, 60.
Okay.
So that's pretty much the offer, drop the price. And the big thing is directing focus. Like, if I have an hour with someone to train them sales, like the biggest thing is that if I could teach them one lesson, it's this, like you are the director of their focus. Like you are the magician. If you're like, hey, it costs $3,000 and you direct their focus on that, like your close rate is going to be very low. Rather, if you notice what I do on any close that I do, it's like, hey, this is $3,000 with the aim to bring you in those 8 new cases, which you said would be $36,000, right? So we end off on the $36,000. So that's like what their brain's focused on, not the $3,000. And then we take away the risk. Like, hey, at any time we don't get you those 40 minimum, which again, we're aiming to bring you 50, 60, then we don't bill you. And if we still can't get you those 40 leads promised from when we started, 60 days from when we started, we'll actually refund you in full, so you have absolutely no risk, right? That's pretty much like the entire close here that, has made millions. So let me just keep going here and we'll see what he says.
All right. So $3,000 a month. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
For 40 prospects.
40 minimum.
Is that right?
So 40 is the guarantee.
40 minimum, right? I got it. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's about $80 a prospect.
If we can get you,
that's a good price.
yep. I mean, and I'm with the budget. I mean, the way it works is about a 60-40 budget. So I'm obviously going to take that budget and try to get you as many leads as possible. And every area is different. So I don't know how it's going to react to it. Every area reacts differently, but hey, we just launched something up in Pennsylvania and it was a 40 lead minimum and we've got, 70 leads already and they're not even done. So it depends, sometimes it just depends. And to be honest, you never know how it's going to react until you throw it out there and even that it optimizes on these different platforms. But yeah, it's a 40. Does that make sense to you? So it's not like a per lead kind of thing where once we hit 40, we kind of turn it off.
Right. It sounds very fair to me.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I mean, I'm in.
So perfect. So I mean, we already started working on it.
Decision. People shouldn't make that a hard decision. That's a pretty fucking easy decision.
That's how I try to make it a no-brainer. So let me do this. We already started working on the campaign. We could have this turned on for you next week. What is the best email as far as the notifications that you guys want these coming into?
I'm going to need...
So right there, like he just basically said he's in. It's a no-brainer. So I'm just going to go in, like whenever that happens on a phone call, like I just go into assumptive close, which is like, all right, like it's kind of like, he's bought the car. So it's just rolling into like, all right, let's get all the details. And these are also like little trial commitments where it's like, okay, cool. Where do you want me to send you the leads? What's the email address? And we walk them through kind of just like getting set up as if they've bought, and it's an assumptive close. One of my favorite closes, you just assume he's bought and you'll watch me go through this assumption close now. And here we go.
You're saying I need to get on the phone with them within 3 minutes, right? So,
I mean, the sooner the better. I recommend 10. Like it's really as soon as you can get it in. But
right,
that is like
I just want to make sure that I'm thinking to myself, should I have if it's only 40, which is maybe 1 or 2 a day, should I just have them sent to me and let me get on the phone with them and bring them in? The best appointment setter, salesperson, front office person, medical assistant, doctor is me, even though I'm not a doctor. And
absolutely.
I think I could, I would bring them in better than my current appointment setter. And if my appointment setter's on another call, I don't know. Can I have a day to figure that, to work through the logistics of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to make sure I do it the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you could do it to yourself. Obviously, like, if you're handling it, I think you'll get the best results, and then you'll know how to. But I don't know how busy you are. If you're doing lots of other things, and you want to make this kind of someone else's full-time job, then you just want to make sure that they're on top of it.
Yeah, I want to get as you know. Obviously, I want to bring as many of them in the door as I possibly can. So let me just see if I can get that done with my existing appointment setter or not. I don't know. Maybe not. I just really need to work through the logistics of it and try to figure out if I want to trust him with that.
Got it.
So
I'll fill that in as to be announced. And then what do you want for as far as the number it's going to forward to?
Yeah, and that is the next thing. He has two phones. He has one with a number on it, one with a number on it. So,
all right, that's a to be announced.
I've got to figure out. I got to figure out which one I'm going to bring it into, because it's not going to be specific to the location. Correct?
I would recommend that. Yeah, we could start with both locations. I'd recommend starting with one. He's got a big population, and just running from there, and then is 240,000. So really, just start with that one location. That's where you'll get the exclusive on, and then obviously we'll run a 50-mile radius, which is what we run. And if they're closer to, then you could service that as well. In your social location. That's kind of what I was thinking. And then if you want to scale, obviously after month one, what we do is we do a review call, and we figure out, okay, out of the leads, how many leads did we generate? Out of those, how many, what was our connection rate? What was the booking rate? What was the show rate? How many closed? And then from there, we could go, okay, let's scale up the budget. How many more leads do you want? How much more budget do we put in, kind of thing?
Right. Well, probably, I guess it doesn't really matter which location I bring them into. I guess it doesn't really matter. I would, Tulsa's a little slower right now than, but we could bring them into. That's fine.
Okay. So what's the number for that? What'll be the inbound number?
I don't know it right off the top of my head, because it goes to my appointment center, and that's all goes into, that all goes into that same thing I was just telling you about,
Okay. Got it.
So if I could just I could probably have it to you by this afternoon. I just need to sit down and think about it.
Yeah, that's no worries. If you need to get it to me by the kickoff call, that's fine as well. So that's the other.
I could definitely have it to you by Monday.
Okay, perfect. When is a good time for us to do a kickoff call then? Because what we'll do now is we'll schedule a kickoff call. I'm going to shoot you over the agreement, and then what I'll do is we'll get a card that'll lock everything in, and then I'll send you the welcome email. You get a welcome package. We'll do a kickoff call on Monday, and then as soon as we do that, we can really be up and running within 24, 48 hours.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. And all right. When do you want to do the start off call? Let's see. How about either Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning, one of the two. I can do it. I'll be better for you on Monday. Monday afternoon, probably. Actually, Tuesday morning would. Tuesday
morning. Let's do. What is? You're on Central Time in Oklahoma, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so can you do 11 a.m. Central Time?
On Tuesday?
On Tuesday, yeah.
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. All right, perfect. I'm going to put you in for then. So that's going to be Greg Neograft, please. Okay, so I'll send you an invite for that. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shoot you over the agreement for everything.
So, just shooting over a simple Adobe sign agreement. I actually don't recommend that you do this way anymore. All the deals that we close now, we actually just take the credit card first, then we shoot over the agreement afterwards, because sometimes the agreement slows down the sale. They're like, oh, let me read over the agreement and all that. Usually it's like right now we take credit card. And then we say, hey, before we get started, just okay this agreement. This protects you. It protects me. And it has the guarantee in writing, and we can't start the campaign unless you fill that out. So just a little different process that we do. This was actually a mistake, but still worked.
Okay, so just shot you over the agreement, and then what's the best card that you want to use? What type of card do you want to use?
I don't have any of my credit cards with me for the business. I keep them in my office. I want to use the one ending in 8040, which is my advertising company's credit card. I have my own advertising company, so I get a discount on
nice.
On all the stuff that I buy media-wise. If you're an advertising company, you get 15%. So I run everything in my advertising company. But I can give you one of my personal cards if you need it right now.
Yeah, sure.
All right. I'll use a. Costs too much. All right. Looks like a Visa.
Okay.
4388. Expires 8/23.
Yep. Okay, perfect. So I'll process that for the three grand. And I've shot you over the agreements. Once you okay that, then you're locked in. You have the exclusive for NeoGraph as far as. And then, where do you want the exclusive for?
And that's pretty much it. So that was it. When you ask for the card, you could use another. Like I'll sometimes say, hey, would you like, is it a Visa or a MasterCard? Pretty simple close. Like, what card do you want to use? And is it a Visa or MasterCard? And really, I just shut up after that. That's like the big thing. And it's kind of weird because he was like, I want to use my advertising card, and then he's like, well, if you need it now, I got a personal one. So I was like, yeah, sure. So. And then I just said, hey, I'm ready when you are. And he goes, okay, it's a Visa. Read out the numbers. I obviously blurred out the other digits here, and blurred out some sensitive information as we went through that. But basically, my process is take the card, and then I'll read back like, hey, just to make sure that I got you correctly. It's this the card number. What's the address tied to it? What's the zip code? And what I'll do is I'll write the card on a piece of paper, make sure I have it, then I'll put it through, either Stripe or PayPal or a merchant account with Chase, which is what I use now, and then I'll take the paper and I shred it. I run the card, make sure it goes through, take the paper and I shred it, and that's pretty much it. And let me just go through this. So I think this is just logistics.
I guess what'd you say? You said you wanted to start. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So we'll give you the.
I know I should probably use
so again,
the volume.
This is logistics.
More so than I could. So can we start there?
Yeah, sure. So we can start. All right. Okay, perfect. And then all I need then is obviously the guys will start working on this. What we'll do then is we'll have a call, which will be on 9 a.m. on Tuesday, my time, 11 Central Time. I'll shoot you a calendar invite for that. That'll be 30 minutes. I'll send you a welcome email once you okay the agreement, the welcome package as well. And then on Tuesday, we'll chat, and then we can have this up and running Wednesday. So we'll go over how everything works, make sure you guys know how to handle the leads correctly. And then on Monday morning, 9 a.m. Central Time, we'll have the ads running for you. And then we'll hopefully generate inquiries within 24, 48 hours. It could be as soon as 10 minutes, and sometimes it takes 24 hours. But we'll have leads coming in and your phone ringing next week.
Okay, and then can you also send me a receipt for the $3,000 so I can send it to my CFO so she can reimburse my personal card?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just email you that invoice.
That's
okay?
fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'll invoice that, and then that way you get a receipt. And that's pretty much it. Look, congratulations. Cool. Welcome. You're a new partner. I look forward to working with you, Greg.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
All right. You're welcome. All right. Let's chat on Monday. Have a great weekend. And I'm excited.
Tuesday, right?
Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday.
All right. Great. We'll talk to you then.
All right. Perfect. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
And that's it. So that right there is literally the entire process. And that's a process that, the rest of them all went through. As you can see, the sale, 3,049. And this is the total results in the first 77 days of this campaign. And that was literally it. Like, you saw the cold email, you saw the education-based marketing video, which had no quote unquote proof or testimonials. I showed you the live NeoGraft audit call. You had the chance to listen to that. You heard the sales call. There's the close, which was run through PayPal with PayFlow. And this right here is the same exact process that I've taught. Dustin, $20K for March, $13,500 a month deal. Right here, $5,000 a month deal, $3,700 a month deal, $2,000. These are all $5,000 a month deal closed. $2,000 for 20 leads, went a little lower. And this is the process. So like you've now seen it. Like, that's nothing held back. That's the entire process. Everything kind of literally A to Z. And there's not many people showing the entire process like this, taking a prospect from cold to sold. And like, this is the most valuable business skill that you can learn, because once you know how to do this, like, you don't need much money to be able to pull this off. Like, $110, $50 for a cold email sender, and $9 a month to $30 a month, the ability to process credit cards, and you can take this business up to 40, 60, 80 grand a month, really just with yourself and a really small team. So like I said, like, you're only really a couple skills away. Like, if your goal is to quit your job, like, this is the fastest way to do it. Like, you learn how to prospect with this system, like I'm showing you. You learn how to sell, and then you learn how to deliver a high ticket, high leverage service delivery. And like the service that I'm selling here, which we're going to cover in the next videos, it's really, and even with like AI now, it's very, like, I want to say easy, but if you were to figure it out on your own, it's actually quite hard. It's simple once you're shown how to do it, kind of like a magic trick. And once you understand how to work with Facebook, work with the AI, it becomes quite simple. So that's what we're going to do. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got a lot out of listening to that call. Like, when I was starting, that, like, what I just gave you is all I wanted. Like, just show me how to do it. Like, I remember I would, like, my one of my friends that I networked with, like, they were closing $5,000 deals. And like, at the time, like, I grew up where, like, my dad wouldn't allow me to get cheese on a cheeseburger because 30 cents more. So I had like all money issues, and I just couldn't fathom that someone would pay $5,000 to someone who they didn't know. Never mind in 48 hours. So like, understanding that this could be done, and then like seeing it done, hearing the calls, understanding it could be done without proof, without being like, a fancy pants guru, or like, have like, I did this, and like, I think I had like, no social media following. right? Like I created a simple website and that was it. So it's like, and this is a process that I ran like over and over and over again. Like again, like no proof, no testimonials, no big following, nothing like that, which means like, you know, you guys can do it once you learn how to do it, once you learn how to put it together. So with that said, really hope you got a lot out of it. And listen to the calls over and over again. Go back through now that you see the whole process from A to Z, and go out, implement it. And in the next couple of videos in this program, what we're going to do is we're going to now go over the service delivery part, right? Because every business is leads, sales, service. So we covered how to get the lead with the cold email. We covered the sales part, which is two-step, you know, this two-step closing system, which is really laid back, you know, not high pressure sales. Pretty simple when the marketing, which is really that education-based marketing video, does the heavy lifting for you, which if you do that correctly, that's kind of what these calls are like, right? There's no hard selling, nothing like that. Yeah, you get a few objections here and there, which, you know, you could very, very, very easy to handle. You know, we could cover that in later trainings. With that said, though, let's pop into the next video. Again, Mike Marin here. Enjoyed making this for you, and hope you got a lot out of it. And I'll see you in the next video.